Welcome to episode number 2 of A Legal Newbie and a Lawyer. Today we're going to talk about personal injury calculators, aka how much is my personal injury case worth? I'm here with Andrew Helland, one of the attorneys here at Helland Law Group, and let's just get started with the fun stuff. Do you have any fine print to share with us?
Of course I do, Paul. Obviously every case is different, and today when we're kind of talking about some of this stuff, it's just kind of generally speaking, to know exactly with a specific case, you need to contact an attorney and have that conversation to get any legal advice about that. So please don't take this as any legal advice, Paul.
Right on. Consider yourself fine printed. All right, so my first question is, I see these personal injury calculators on the internet, on various different websites and even on Google, and I'm wondering, what's the basic formula behind these?
Sure. With the personal injury calculators, they're used very, very frequently, both obviously in Google and, believe it or not, even insurance companies that use a version of that, a little more fine-tuned version. But with the ones on Google, normally what you're seeing is you're seeing a prompt to be asked to enter what we call kind of your special damages. That's things like your medical bills, things that are very quantifiable. And then you're asked to usually input some sort of factor that essentially that they're being multiplied by, which then theoretically spits out a number that gives you the total value of your case. But obviously there's some kind of problems with trying to come up with what factor you use in them and how that applies to your case specifically.
Okay, all right. So the factor element, is that a severity thing, or why is that used?
Well, good question. And the reason I say good question is because sometimes people say, well, gee, a case is worth kind of 3 times the special damages. But there's nothing out there that supports anything like that. Instead, every case is valued differently. It's based upon how severely somebody was injured, what types of injuries it was, age, occupation, other types of things that kind of factor into what makes a case worth the particular amount.
Okay, and so the reason a number on a personal injury calculator might not be as valid as we hope it might be has to do with maybe we're not asking all the pertinent questions?
Absolutely. Instead, what it's simply doing is it's asking a user just to assign some sort of multiplier to get the final number out of the calculator. And sometimes, we don't exactly assign the multiplier correctly.
Okay. So a user-generated multiplier, you're kind of taking a shot in the dark. A lawyer who's got more experience with this sort of thing has a much better bead on what the actual number ought to be.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you like doing math on the internet and playing with calculators, more power to you. Just don't trust the number. And so I guess that brings us to our last question. If somebody's got a question about their personal injury case, what's your advice?
Well, I think the advice is obviously call us. The reason being is when you speak to an attorney, you get kind of a much better clue as to what's important in the case and what adds strength to it and what potential weaknesses may be in the case. And all of that goes into factoring in that value, and that will get you a lot further in the process.
Okay, and that first call to you guys is?
Absolutely free.
All right.
Yep.
So pick up the phone. If you've got a personal injury case, Helen will take great care of you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.